Hi everyone and welcome back to Bonnie Astrology. Today we're talking about the new moon in Aquarius happening on the 21st of January 2023 and what it means for your zodiac sign. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for regular astrology updates, and if you would like to book a reading with me, you can contact me in the email at the description box. It's the only place you can get me. I'm not going to reach out to you for a reading. There are quite a lot of scammers, especially on Instagram, so just be careful if you give me a follow there, that if someone follows you back and offers you a reading because they like your energy, it's not me. Not that I don't like your energy, but I'm not going to reach out to you and offer you a reading for no reason. So let's have a little look at this new moon in Aquarius. This is their super new moon, so this is very significant. This new moon is happening at 1 degree 32 minutes of Aquarius. So when we have a new moon is always a place of new beginnings. It's where we plant seeds, we set intentions, and when it's at 1 degree, it really amplifies that fresh start feeling. The last new moon we had in December was in Capricorn, also at 1 degree, and that new moon was square Jupiter. This new moon is sextile Jupiter, and with this new moon we have Mars and Mercury now direct, albeit they're not quite at their full force just yet because Mars only went direct on the 12th, Mercury on the 18th, so we're not running on full power completely, but there is a new beginning nonetheless, especially after the 22nd when Uranus goes direct as well. There will be this really wonderful period between the 22nd of January and the 21st of April where there are no retrogrades, and it's very full steam ahead kind of energy. The time when things pick up momentum that little bit quicker, we're less reflective and we're more thinking about the future and acting on it, especially when Jupiter is in Aries, because Jupiter in Aries means fortune favors the bold. With this new moon, because of that supportive sextile from Jupiter in Aries, we're more inclined to make what we want to happen happen. This new moon is happening in the sign of Aquarius, and Aquarius is associated with visualizing the future, our aspirations for the future, creating the future, what it is that we want for our future selves. It's a very futuristic sign. So when we have a new moon in Aquarius, we're being called to think about our wishes, our aspirations, and our dreams. This can also bring in the sign of Aquarius new friendships, new teams, new groups, new social causes that you want to be a part of. But for you personally, this is going to be a time when you're setting some kind of aspiration for yourself, some sort of picturing the future moment where with the sextile to Jupiter in Aries, you're going to feel as though you want to make this happen, you want to make it a reality. Saturn is the ruler of Aquarius, and Saturn is still in Aquarius and will be until March. So with Saturn still being in Aquarius and the fact that around this new moon it is going to be with Venus, they're in a conjunction, there is a sense of committing to this, there's a sense of being serious about it, there's a sense of long-term longevity with this new moon, whatever is beginning around this time. There's a sense of this could go quite a long distance. With the Venus-Saturn conjunction, there are a lot of themes surrounding commitment, surrounding making things official in some capacity, playing the long game, taking it more seriously, whatever it is that you want to do, and taking it seriously because you love it with Venus there. There's also, interestingly, a Jupiter-Juno conjunction the following day, and Juno is associated with commitments. Juno and Jupiter were married in Greek mythology, so we have this double whammy of Venus and Saturn, and then we have this other committed energy with Juno and Jupiter in Aries, which is like giving us bravery to commit to things, giving us bravery to sign up to things. And with Venus and Saturn in Aquarius, it's giving us that cool, logical, how can I make this work for the long haul kind of energy. So there is this sense of commitment with this new moon to this fresh start, to this new beginning, to what it is that you want to create for your future. And with the sextile to Jupiter, there's bravery involved, there's courage, there's the push to do it, especially because as Mars rules Aries and Mars is now out of retrograde, we have more of an incentive to take that plunge, to make the push, to make the call, whatever it is that you want to act on, because Mars is energy and action. So this new moon is looking really interesting. It's also forming quite a wide trine to Mars in Gemini. So there might be very important conversations going on around this time that are facilitating new beginnings. There might be really interesting dialogues going on between you and somebody else. There could be talking about the future. There could be discussing the future. There could be putting ideas out there and figuring out your plan from there. So with Mars being in Jupiter and Mars being in Gemini, Jupiter being in Aries, there is a sense of taking the push and saying the thing, especially with Mercury being no longer in retrograde in Capricorn. So this new moon is looking like an interesting one. That is for sure. It is the new beginning of 2023 that we have been waiting for. I'm going to do an oracle card for this new moon, and then I'm going to get into what it means for each of the individual zodiac signs. The timestamps will be listed below. As always, watch your rising. You can watch your sun and your moon as well, but rising is usually where we go from an astrological point. Whenever I do birth chart readings, I'm going from your ascendant, your rising sign. But let's get a card and see what this new moon is telling us. So for anyone interested, I'm using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. It is really cute. Let's see what the overall energy is for this new moon in Aquarius, this new beginning. And this new beginning as well, just to mention, it has a bit of insight into what Pluto in Aquarius is going to mean. Pluto does enter Aquarius in March, will stay there for 3 months, then retrograde back into Capricorn. But Pluto is actually going to be at this degree in 2024. So with this new moon, you're getting a bit of a preview into 2024, and you're also creating 2024 with this new moon. So it is important. It's a wonderful time to set intentions for your future, to manifest, to visualize, to make a vision board, whatever it is that you do that you feel generates your future for you, whatever it is that feels right to you. This is a great time to set it up because you can get an insight into 2020. Oh my gosh, the Imagine card. That is the most perfect thing. Imagine. This new moon is all about imagination. And funnily enough, when we think of Imagine, I know most people, maybe not everybody, actually the co-create card is underneath. A lot of people's mind goes to John Lennon, who was a natal moon in Aquarius. So that energy of imagine all the people, imagining your future. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. That is a big part of this new moon. Interestingly, the new moon in this, the crescent moon, is on a string that someone is holding. It's like she's holding a balloon. And actually, I might insert it into the video, but last week, I went for a walk on my own and someone somewhere in the distance, I have no idea where they were, but they let off about, I think it was 9, I counted, balloons just into the air, white and blue ones, which seems to be a little bit, it reminds me of making a wish and setting it free. You know, making a wish and practicing that Aquarian detachment of I trust that it will be, I trust that it will come true. But this new moon is for sure a time to imagine, to visualize, and to figure out what it is that you would like for your future, particularly for 2024. And I know that sounds odd because we're just into 2023, but if we're creating the future with what we're doing now, it is important to think about in the long run, because this Venus-Saturn conjunction happening in Aquarius wants us to think about the long haul. So let's get into the individual zodiac signs, starting with Aries. Timestamps are listed below. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. Aries, this new moon is happening in your 11th house. This is very associated with the future. So this is a time when you really want to get clear on what it is that you want to have in the future, where you want to be, what you want your life to be like, what are your goals for the future, what do you want to be involving yourself in, especially if it involves teams, group efforts, social causes, charitable causes. This new moon can also manifest in the material sense of a new friendship or a new group of people, or becoming part of a new team, maybe a new team member. Perhaps you are joining up to a cause, perhaps there is an actual aspiration, a wish that you want to set your mind to at this time, Aries, because there is a sextile to Jupiter in your sign and a trine to your ruler Mars, meaning that you really can make a dream come true under this new moon. With Jupiter being in your sign, you have the confidence, you have the charisma, you have the know-how to make it happen. You just have to set your mind to what it is that you want to happen. Also with Mars now being direct in your 3rd house, you will have the gift of the gab again. You will feel like you're speaking but not having to walk on eggshells, or you're not constantly upsetting people. with Mars direct in your third house. And you might find as well that other people are giving you helpful insights into how you could make something happen. There's the action there with Mars. Perhaps that's coming from a sibling, a neighbor, a friend, anything like that, or the internet. You could be getting the knowledge, you could be getting the push, you could get the know-how to make this dream happen. That's what I have for you, Aries, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aquarius for your sign. So Taurus, this new moon is happening in your 10th house. This is likely to be some sort of new beginning when it comes to your career, your public image, your public persona, what you're known for, or perhaps a goal of yours, something you'd really like to achieve. This could be a time where you are deciding that you really want to achieve something, Taurus. You're putting your mind to it, you've decided you're going to do it, you're ready to commit to it, and you're ready to put yourself forward. With this new moon, it could also mark a new chapter in your professional life, perhaps through a promotion, perhaps through a new job, perhaps through a new project. There is some sort of new chapter involved here when it comes to your professional life and your public image. Perhaps this is a new status, perhaps this is a new award, something that gives you a little bit of a new start when it comes to how you're perceived by the world, how you appear to the world, and what it is that you're known for. The sextile to Jupiter in your 12th house suggests that perhaps this new beginning is in some way facilitated by some inner work you've been doing, some healing, looking after your mental health, looking after your emotional health. The trine to Mars in your 2nd house is suggesting that perhaps you have now made the money to facilitate this, or this new chapter is in some way going to help you make more money. Or even increase your confidence. Perhaps there's a confidence boost has come in from Mars now being direct in your 2nd house, or perhaps you have some money that was slow to come forward, is coming forward now, perhaps through a pay rise, with a promotion or something like that. But it looks, Taurus, like you're committing to a new goal that you're going to be working on for quite a long time. Even though there's a sextile to Jupiter and Aries, it might not be immediate gratification, but you as a fixed sign are pretty good at playing the long game. That's what I have for you, Taurus, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aquarius, which is happening in your 9th house. Gemini, a lot of you could be traveling around this time. You could be taking a trip, you could be planning a trip. Some of you could be having some kind of new beginning in your life, whether that's by taking the trip of a lifetime, whether that is by signing up perhaps to study something, a new course, perhaps there's something you want to learn, perhaps there's something you even want to teach. For those of you that are in teaching professions, this could be a new job, or this could be some sort of new chapter in your teaching career. For those of you studying, there seems to be a new chapter coming in with your study. And this seems to be something that is quite social. So whatever it is that you're doing, you seem to be making friends with this new moon, Gemini, because this is going to be sextiling Jupiter in your 11th house. Now the 11th house is also to do with wish fulfillment, aspirations, but it feels as though you have a lot of friends, a lot of people supporting you, a lot of socializing going on that is supporting this new beginning in your 9th house, Gemini. Adding to that, we have Mars now direct in your sign, and I'm sure you're relieved because now we have Mercury, your ruler, direct, and we have Mars in your 1st house in your sign direct. You're not feeling as lethargic, as run down, as exhausted, as frustrated, as feeling sometimes like you just can't get the thoughts in your head going. There is this sense of movement forward where you're feeling a bit more optimistic as well, because this new moon is in the 9th house. But for a lot of you, it does look like you're going to be learning something new around this time, or you're going to be planning a trip, taking a trip, or you're going to be expanding your viewpoint in some way, shape or form, perhaps learning something new through a friend or through a team member with Jupiter in the 11th house. But that is what I have for you, Gemini, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising. This new moon in Aquarius is happening in your 8th house, which is a very psychological but also deep taboo place to have a new moon. It can mean from a financial standpoint that there is some sort of new beginning when it comes to other people's money, maybe your partner's money, maybe taxes. You could be a new way of dealing with your finances around this new moon. Perhaps you're setting new intentions for the long haul. Maybe you want to have a better financial system in place, or you and your partner are organizing your finances so that they make sense for you both, or you're both on the same page, or perhaps you're organizing your taxes or something like that. It could also be that this is a very, as I say, taboo place. You could be seeing an astrologer, you could be diving into the mysteries of life. You could be learning a lot more about the occult. This can also be a time when you set up with a psychotherapist, a psychologist, or someone to get to the bottom of some psychological issues because you're more curious about what's going on within you at this time, Cancer. The sextile to Jupiter makes me feel like you're being recognized for whatever it is that's happening here. In a sense, you're being supported by your career. Perhaps it is that, for example, you really need to take some time off work. Perhaps you really need to take a break because your stress levels are high. And then with the sextile of Jupiter, your boss is like, go, or someone in a position of authority is saying, you need to take some time off, or you need to work on this, or even I'm going to foot the bill for this, or something like that. With the sextile to Jupiter, there can be recognition within your career as well that is perhaps, coming from a promotion or something like that, and that's facilitating you seeing a therapist or something of that nature. It could also be that perhaps you're incorporating some of the occult into your career. The trine that's going on that's quite loose to Mars is in your 12th house, so this is Mars has been causing chaos in your 12th house since October because it was retrograde since October. It's been there since August though. So you've probably had some very aggressive dreams, or you've maybe felt mentally battered, or you felt a little bit run down emotionally. And you're noticing that your body is really reflecting what's going on with you internally. So with this new moon, it is very important to put your well-being first, as it were. Make sure that if you're committing to something, you're committing to better psychological health, mental health, looking after yourself, taking care of yourself, and maybe even getting to know yourself a little bit better, Cancer, as well as practicing good financial hygiene. That is what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Leo, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in your 7th house of relationships. So Leo, this new moon for you is some kind of new beginning in your partnerships, in your relationship sector. So for some of you, that could be actually meeting someone new that you're going to have a relationship with, deepening a relationship, committing to a relationship. There is something going on in your partnerships, Leo, that is facilitating a new beginning. So this can be that you're deciding that you want to work on something with a partner. This can be that you're committing deeper to a partner. Or as I say, there can just be some kind of new beginning in your relationship life. So say you're single, you meet someone, you click, and then it goes from there. This new moon is going to be forming a sextile to Jupiter, which for you is in your 9th house. So perhaps in terms of your relationships, there's something kind of spiritual about this with the 9th house. Perhaps you have really good spiritual conversations. Perhaps you meet this person even with the 9th house, it can be traveling. Perhaps you're learning from this person with the 9th house. The 9th house is higher study, it's higher learning, it's mentors, it's teachers. So those themes can come into place with a new relationship, or perhaps you're actually taking a trip with a partner, with a committed relationship, or you and your partner are maybe learning something new together. This new moon is also going to be widely trining Mars, which is in Gemini, which for you is to do with third house. It's not to do with the third house. For you, Leo, Mars is in the 11th house. So this is to do with the online world, the social media. It's also to do with wishes, it's to do with aspirations, and it's also to do with friendships. So it could be that if you're starting a new relationship, that you're perhaps starting as friends, perhaps it could be starting online, perhaps it could be someone you meet through a group of people with the 11th house, or perhaps it's someone who has very similar causes to you, or someone who's very interested in the same things for the future. But that is what is happening for you, Leo. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aquarius for your sign, which is happening in your 6th house of service and also your physical health. Virgo, there is a new beginning happening for you, and this could go a few different ways. This could be that you're starting a new job. This could be that you're starting a new project. This could be that you're starting some kind of new health kick, a new diet, a new exercise regime. You could be starting something that will get you fit. This could be that you're starting a new class, a new exercise class, you're joining a new gym. This could be that you're committing to something in the genre of wellness for yourself, Virgo, and you're very committed to this. You're like, I want to do this for the long run. So it's probably going to have to be something you enjoy. This is where you're taking your health more seriously from a physical standpoint. Maybe you have a particular goal in mind. Maybe there is a particular exercise regimen that you just want to be better at. Whatever your goals are unique to you, Virgo. But we do have Mars now direct in your 10th house, forming a supportive trine, albeit a wide one, to this new moon. So with this particular new moon, it feels as though you have the energy, or you're getting the energy back to think of your goals for the future, to think of what it is that you want to commit yourself to, perhaps even in terms of your career, your public image. You're feeling more driven. And this new moon could be a new way of getting back on track with your goals, or figuring out what they look like for you. With Mars there, as I say, you have the energy, you have the action, you have the impetus to make these things happen. There's also a supportive sextile to Jupiter in Aries, which for you, Virgo, is actually giving you this sense, I think, of conquering a fear, conquering something that you need to let go of, expanding your awareness of psychology, expanding your awareness of the human psyche, of what makes you tick, maybe even expanding your awareness of astrology. And this is in some way helping you. Perhaps you're deciding that you're going to start living more consciously through the cycles of the moon, for example. So starting things at new moon, making your goals at a new moon, and then perhaps with full moons releasing or letting go or something like that. That is what I'm seeing for you, Virgo. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the full moon in your 5th house. So Libra, a new moon in your 5th house is quite exciting because it's a very fun place to have a new beginning. This could foretell for some of you a new love interest, someone new to date. This could foretell for some of you a new creative passion, a new hobby, something you really enjoy. For some of you, this could be a pregnancy, or this could be the birth of a child in your life. Whatever is going on for you, Libra, this new moon is bringing in something new that is fun, that is pleasurable, that you love, that you enjoy, that you're happy about. It is forming a trine to Mars in Gemini, which is helping you if you have plans to travel, if you have plans to learn something new, if you have plans to study something new. Mars is giving you the energy to do that, giving you the energy to travel, giving you the energy to seek new horizons, seek new adventures. It's making you more adventurous in general, and perhaps that's contributing to this new beginning that's looking quite fun. For example, you decide that you're taking that trip and you meet someone romantically, or perhaps with the sextile to Jupiter in your 7th house, you could date someone, and it could very quickly feel like this could go somewhere with Jupiter being in your 7th house. So this can bring a new beginning with your romantic life in a big way, Libra. So perhaps you are meeting somebody, perhaps you are starting to date somebody, or perhaps you are finding yourself more open to do these things. And it's almost like if you suddenly decide, say you've been single for a long time and you've not been ready, you suddenly decide you would actually quite like to put yourself out there, you very quickly find that maybe someone wants to set you up with somebody, or you meet someone who kind of ticks all the boxes. But that is what I have for you, Libra. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in your 4th house. Scorpio, for a lot of you, there could be something going on with home and family around this new moon. Perhaps there is some kind of new chapter when it comes to your home, when it comes to your family. Perhaps you are deciding you want to purchase a home, you want to move, you want to rent, whatever it is that you want to do. You're thinking of a new beginning in your home life. There may also be a new chapter happening in your family, Scorpio, in some way, shape or form. It is having this supportive sextile to Jupiter in your 6th house. So it feels as though you're perhaps finding yourself maybe with your work, there's benefits happening for you in your work sector. So the work that you do on a day-to-day basis, you might be finding that your work is supporting you in letting you work from home. If you're trying to renovate something, if you're trying to renovate your home, if you're trying to do works on your house, or if you're trying to look for a home, there seems to be some support. It's feeling like helpful people as well with Jupiter being in Aries. I also feel for a lot of you, you could actually be setting up a home gym. You could be setting up home workouts, you could be doing something like that. But I think for some of you, you could actually be having or creating a home gym of some regard, because Jupiter in Aries, that's your 6th house of working out your physical body, and then there's new beginning happening in your home sector. You might be doing that, or you might be getting a new fridge and stocking it with healthy food or something like that. There seems to be a positive link going on there. There's also a trine to Mars in your 8th house. So The way that this kind of comes across to me, Scorpio, is that you obviously are ruled by Mars traditionally, and you are also the ruler of the 8th house. So you've been doing a lot of deep, intense psychological work since, well, since August, but very intensely inward since October. And this could have made you feel a little bit less passionate. This could have made you feel a bit triggered, a bit supercharged psychologically. And now you're beginning to feel with this new moon like, oh, all this inner work I've done, the trauma work I've done, I can see a new beginning with family, or I feel like I'm in a better place now to move, or I feel like I'm in a better place with my family relationships. It's almost like there's something is being resolved whereby you've done a lot of the inner work, the shadow work, and it's incorporating in a new beginning when it comes to your home and your family. This could literally be an addition to your family as well, Scorpio. And if it is an addition to your family with Mars and Gemini supporting this, it could be a little kindred spirit with you, Scorpio, someone that sort of, matches your Scorpiophonic energy. So whether that's like an in-law or whether that's the birth of a baby, there seems to be a very intense connection, feeling very like, oh, this is like a mini me, or they're just like me, or something like that is what I'm sort of getting with you, Scorpio. But with Jupiter in Aries, just be mindful that it's a really good time to look after your well-being, and the more you look after your well-being and your physical body, the more likely you are to manifest the things that you want and attract luck and abundance. That's what I have for you, Scorpio, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. So Sagittarius, this new moon's happening in your 3rd house of communication. This could be a time, Sagittarius, where you're beginning to talk to somebody new. This could be a time where you are perhaps taking a course, maybe a short course, perhaps you're studying something new, you're wanting to learn a language, you're wanting to learn a new skill, you're wanting to study something that is going to help you maybe in terms of a qualification. So maybe you're really wanting to study something like a short-term course, but is going to have long-term reward with Venus and Saturn conjunct in your 3rd house. I do think for a lot of you as well, there could be a new neighbor. There could be a new relationship with a sibling. So perhaps you and a sibling are going to do something together. Perhaps you're going to sign up and take a class with a sibling, or perhaps it is with a neighbor or something like that, Sagittarius. But with the new beginning in the 3rd house, this can also be a wonderful time to commit to writing something, to commit to some form of intellectual project, something that you get to use your words and your brain power on. There's a sextile to Jupiter in your 5th house, so I feel like a lot of you could be writing poetry, you could be writing songs, you could be doing something creative with your mental skills. So you could be, as I say, writing a poem, writing a song, writing a book, writing a sonnet, whatever it is that makes you feel excited and alive, Sagittarius. You could also be finding yourself in a romantic exchange with somebody, especially if you're single. There could be back and forth romantic energy. This could even be with a partner. You could be messaging someone very flirtatious messages. There could be a little bit of Cupid's arrows out there flying for you, Sagittarius. Especially because this new moon is also trine Mars in your relationship sector. You could be finding things are starting to get a bit better with your relationships with Mars no longer retrograde there. And it could be spicing things up a lot for you in your relationships as well. Or you could be finding that this new moon marks some kind of important conversation when it comes to your relationship and romantic life, Sagittarius. But that is what I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful new moon. I'll talk to you soon. Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising. So Capricorn, this new moon is happening in your 2nd house of money. This could be a new start for you financially, and it's one you're probably going to take quite seriously. So this could mean that there is a new source of making money. There could be something new that is in your job or something you do for money. There could be a new start happening there. And I feel like it's something you might do for a very long time. It's something you certainly want to commit to. With Saturn having been in your 2nd house since 2020, you might have learned some very tough lessons when it comes to your finances. You might have found your finances were a bit capped at times. You might have found that you were not able to spend as freely, or you were more conscious of money, or you became more wise with money. And perhaps that wisdom is impacting this new beginning for you, Capricorn, where you are deciding that you want to be better with money, or you want to save for something. I think a lot of you could be deciding around this new moon, you're starting a new savings fund, or saving for something in particular in the long run. Is what I kind of see for you, Capricorn. There's also, you might be saving for a home because there's a sextile to Jupiter in Aries. So you could be starting up a fund for your next home or your renovations or starting a family or something like that. You're very committed to this. There's also a trine to Mars in Gemini, which is your 6th house. So you might be finding that you are also maybe setting up some kind of goal when it comes to physical activity. Perhaps you want to do something in the gym or a hike or something that is going to require a lot of physical energy, because you're getting your physical energy back, Capricorn, with Mars now direct in your 6th house. It's as if you finally feel that you can put the energy into it, or you're seeing the improvement. Say you've been really working out in the gym for, since October, and you feel like you've got nowhere, or you just don't feel like you're running at full power. You will notice that power coming back. You might also notice that in terms of the work that you do, you're starting to get on better with your co-workers, or you're starting to get on better with, the people that you work with in general, or your employees, and this is perhaps going to help you in some way, shape or form financially, Capricorn. But that is what I have for you. I hope you have a good one, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising, the star of the show. Are you excited for this new moon in your sign? I'm nervous. I'm a moon in Aquarius, but this new moon is at 1 degree 32 minutes of Aquarius, and so is my Saturn to the minute. So I'm wondering what this is going to be. But anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about you. This is your new moon. Aquarius, this is a new beginning in terms of self. This is who you are. You're setting up some kind of new goal for yourself, and you're committing to yourself. You're like, I want to do this for me. I want this for me in my future. I want this for me long term. I want this to be something that's true to who you are, something that's true to who you are becoming, particularly because you've gained so much wisdom, so much knowledge, so much responsibility from having Saturn in your sign. And with Venus there, with Saturn, it's like you're I think a lot of you are committing to, and I know this sounds cliche and I know this sounds cheesy, but you're committing to self-love. And in some way, shape or form, that is making you go for something. So there is this supportive sextile to Jupiter in Aries, which for you, Aquarius, gives you a lot of charm. You're able to have the gift of the gab. You're talking about what it is that you want. Some of you might have a new beginning in store that is being supported by a sibling, being supported by a neighbor, being supported by conversations. You're getting the answers. You're getting the right kind of communication going that's going to help you. For some of you, maybe this new goal is related to writing a book or, putting your words out there in some way, Aquarius. But there is also this lovely trine with Mars in Gemini. And Mars is now direct in Gemini, which is your 5th house. Now that is to do with children. So perhaps this new start that you're embarking on is to do with your children. Perhaps things are going to be a bit smoother there, and maybe this is also creative, because Mars in the 5th house is to do with creativity, especially because it's been there. So if you felt any creative blocks, romantic blocks, dating blocks, fun blocks, pleasure blocks, they're being lifted, and this new beginning is something that you feel really passionate about, Aquarius. You feel really excited about it. You feel like it's going to be fun for you, but you're also ready for any work and responsibility that is coming from it. And I think this is going to be a really good one for you. I like it. So Aquarius, I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising. Pisces, welcome to this new moon happening in your 12th house. You're the sign associated with the 12th house. So this is very spiritual. It's very behind the scenes. It's very healing. It's a place of retreat. This is a new moon that is bringing some kind of new beginning forward for you, Pisces, that you might be keeping a secret. You might be keeping this to yourself. You might be keeping this on the down low. This might also be a time when you want to retreat. You want to take some time out in nature. You want to rest. You want to recharge. You're very likely to be having some kind of trippy, weird dreams, Pisces, that might actually be predictive or psychic in some way, shape or form. So do pay attention to that with the 12th house. You have Saturn there. You've had Saturn there since 2020. It's conjunct Venus. That can be very soulmate energy going on for you at the moment. That can be, maybe perhaps that's what you're trying to visualize, trying to manifest. But this can also just be something that you're committed to on a spiritual level. You're committed to something new spiritually. Perhaps you're going to start a meditation routine. Perhaps you're doing some kind of therapy or new habit or new beginning that's very good for your mental health, Pisces. We also have this supportive sextile to Jupiter in your second house. So maybe for some of you, you are spending some money on a spiritual retreat, or you're spending some money on some kind of spiritual tool or spiritual practice, or perhaps you're finding that if you do this for work, for example, you're making money from it, or some of you could be making money from something. I don't want to say secretive because that sounds kind of dodgy, but you might just be keeping it to yourself for now, which I don't know how you would do that, but you might be. So there's something going on for you behind the scenes that might in some way be supporting you financially, or if it's not financially, it might just be supporting you in a way that makes you feel more confident in your skills. Now, Jupiter being in the second house is going to increase and expand your finances. Mars is now direct. Mars is in your fourth house, and Mars is trining this new moon. So perhaps it is a new spiritual beginning that is in some way going to be very healing for you in terms of your living situation or your family. So perhaps you're making your home a much more spiritual place. You're maybe cleansing the energy. You're maybe bringing in some feng shui expert to figure out how things are supposed to look. Or you're really working with the energy of your home, or perhaps with the 12th house, you're letting go of some kind of grudge, you're letting go of some kind of pain that is in some way, shape, or form facilitating a bit more of a smooth relationship with your family members, or in some way, perhaps you are healing in a way that is helping you heal when it comes to home and family matters and your private life. And you might actually be letting go of something from the past in order to call in the new beginning, Pisces, because the next new moon is going to be in your sign. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I'll talk to you soon.